Hi, it's David C. Jones, and this is another Before the Curtain Goes Up. And the curtain's going up in a very spooky place this time because the woman in black is back in town. And I'm with two wonderful people I've had the opportunity to work with before. Ada Wright and Bernard Coupling. How are you guys?
Exhausted. Exhausted.
That's the right word, yes.
Let's not pretend about that.
Now, for those of you who don't know the show, like, can you explain what the show is without, I guess it's a mystery, so we don't want to give away spoilers, but can you explain what we are in for when we come and see the show?
Well, I'll try and be explicit because what it is, my character, who is, say, a civil servant, comes to this empty theatre, to this actor, and says, look, I want to read what I've written to my family and my friends only, because it happened to me as a young man. I was terrified by a ghost, and I want to read it. And I just want you to guide me. And he says, okay. And I start reading, and then he stops me and he says, look, if you read it like that, it's going to take 5 hours and blah, blah, blah. And I go, what? And it says, but if we use sound and light and theatre. So it's like a total innocent, total non-theatrical person going to a theatrical person and asking to exorcise this ghost that affected me and my wife and my child way back. And it's not modern, it's not set in present day.
No, it's set in like 1950s.
Maybe 40s.
40s, yeah.
1940s.
And it is taking place in a old theater,
An empty theater.
Empty theater. Yeah.
We can't tell you the spoiler.
No,
the ghost, of course, was of the 1800s.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was the 1800s, and what happened to me, because as a young man, it would have been in the 1910s, 1920s.
Yeah. Nice.
That is the premise.
I understand.
Now, I would say when people say, well, it ran for 33 years in London's West End. It's the second longest running play ever, next to the Mousetrap. So there is an interest. And what fascinates me about it, David, is the fact that, like a great Agatha Christie, which is Then There Were None, I think the best, this play, you have no idea what actually happened until the very end. And even then, right at the end, something happens to him.
There's another twist. There's another, like a last minute twist. Okay.
Last minute twist.
Now, who brought this show to who? Like, Bernard, you've done the show before. You've directed it and acted it. Did you go, I want to do this again? Or was it Aidan, or was it the director? Because Bill's directing, right? Bill Allman? Is he directing?
No, Bill's producing it. No, I'm directing it and I'm acting in it.
Yeah.
And the reason I did this, I don't know, 10 years, 15 years ago at Chemainus for Mark Dumais. No, honestly, David, the reason I'm doing it, because I'm an old man, and I'm wondering if my brain has the capacity, in fact, I think just 2 months ago, the great Sir Derek Jacobi, who I, in fact, did a few shows with in London before I came to Canada, Derek Jacobi has given up stage because the brain can't take it anymore. And I thought, can I get through this play? And it's not easy for either of us, because it's from a beautiful novel. There's tons of narration that has to be theatrical, but it's the remembrance of it, remembering it. So that started me to think, I'm not going to retire. Actors don't, Yeah. Dame Judy said she wanted to die on stage. Well, yeah, I want to die on stage. Maybe I will.
Oh, no, don't say that now.
Come and see us. I'll be dying on stage.
Who knows what performance? Come to all of them.
Back as a ghost. But I'm doing it, because I love the piece. I love the piece. It's one of my favorites, the play. And I just want to do it to show I'm not retired. I'm going, and this guy is bloody good, playing opposite me. And I have an amazing team. It's a co-op, which means we're not like, we arrive Monday morning and everything's done and we get a salary on a Friday. we have to sell tickets and we put up the money to produce things. People have been so good. Mike Gall at the Arts Club has been tremendous. Stephen Heatley, Lynn Burton up at UBC have been tremendous, helping us. Glenn McDonald's our technical director. Stephen Courtney was 30 years at Bard on the Beach, is our stage manager. We've got the ghosts have to do other things, but they volunteered to become spooky. So for me, it's rejuvenation.
How
That's the
wonderful.
reason.
How wonderful. Now, so Aidan, did you approach Bernard, or I still didn't quite understand, did you approach Bernard saying, hey, I want to do this show, or did he approach you?
So yeah, we've been talking about doing this show for the past 2 years now. I think we've been like hanging out and catching up and like keeping like contact, especially during COVID, because that was the big thing that we were talking about. Like, what is something? How do you get audiences back into the theater, right? After we've had such a long time of this giant hiatus. So it was really Bernard who was like, I know the show, I've done it before, I know it works. So Aidan, why don't you come and do it with me? I was like, absolutely, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, and what impressed me, David, when we did your production, the Macbeth, the improv,
yeah,
Aidan and Brent and the other Aidan and Ali, and wonderful, that atmosphere, that feeling, that let's do it. I didn't get any. I didn't want an actor going, oh, I can't do this, or I don't do that, or well, this is this and that. I wanted people to be positive, and that's what we are in this production. So if the audience don't get it, we're going to love it.
Nice. Well, and Aidan, because of his improv background, he's a yes and kind of guy. So that's a wonderful person to work with. I also now just what flashed in my mind, Bernard, because you mentioned you were worried about retaining the stuff. It's good that he's an improviser, because if you don't retain it, he can try to improvise some lines to get you back on track.
I'll tell you the naughty thing about it. In the script, and it should be, that, as I say, my character goes to him and says, I've written this piece and I want to speak it. He said, well, act. I said, no, I just want to speak it. But I have the script on stage the whole time. Now, it's not going to happen, but if I completely have no idea where I am in the play, I've got the script there, so I'm just going to say, excuse me a moment. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, but no, I mean, that in fact is you don't normally, you don't want to know, you leave the script behind, but I do have case of emergency. But on the other hand, it's a beautiful play in the sense that it unfolds. Yeah. So you know where it is. And my character, me, Bernard, my character then plays all the other characters. So it's one of those plays.
Yeah.
Oh, who am I this time? Oh, I've got to put that costume on, so I'm playing this character.
And like from that, it's like a great invitation for the audience to come back to see what theater is, right? It talks about all the conventions of theater, how stages are put up. It's really taking it like, as well as having a compelling story, it also kind of lifts the veil of how you put on a show, how you work a play, with all like changing costumes on stage and like having your imagination working out with sound and lights, which is a huge part of the show.
And it's entertaining.
Yeah.
And I really think that what we've been through, what theatre has been through the past few years, there's an audience that just want to be entertained.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it really speaks a lot to the piece that it's been running so long in England, right? That it's been such a huge monster hit. Ada, I had another quick question for you.
Yes.
You've also recently been, and I could be that I'm, social media. I'm trying to read everything, but you've been doing some music as well recently. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. Actually, yeah, I have been. I'm coming out with an album with my band, The Sweet Hours. Our album comes out on February 11th at midnight, so it will be available to everyone on all streaming platforms.
I think he's trying to get put the music in the show. It ain't gonna happen, but we made it at the beginning.
Yeah, it could be in the pre-show lobby, but one of those things where it's probably not setting the tone for the show. Oh, you know when you could play it, Aiden, you could play it as they're leaving because the show's over
there
now.
we go.
So as they're leaving the theater, they can hear it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, so it's a co-op, so people got to buy tickets right away. They got to come and see the show. They got to tell their friends. Hey, can I ask you another quick question?
Yes.
I'm going to get a little bit political here. Are you doing a program? Because I, of course, think of a program as an advertisement for the show because people, like my doctor, always left it in the office when he saw a show and stuff.
You're right, David. Mentioning no names, but it's appalling that theatres don't have programs. It's an insult to everyone who has contributed and made that production, to everyone.
Yeah, and it's
so there will be a program.
Okay, good, because I'll take a couple and I'll drop them around because I always bring them into my classroom and I show the students. I highlight the names and stuff and go, "Hey, students who are learning how to act, here are some actors." So, is there any? Is it a full, like it's a full length play? Is there an intermission, or do you just hold on to us for 90 minutes and terrify us?
No, there will be an intermission. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool. And what, I'll just ask one more quick question and then I'll ask you to plug the show.
It's at Jericho, the Jericho Theatre. And that really actually is a perfect venue for this play. It's a perfect venue. I
love that space. What right now is your favorite part of the rehearsal process? Let's hear from both of you.
What my favorite is Reed is still discovering how we can scare the audience.
Nice.
You know, that's my favorite because I'm going, oh, if we do that, scare the life out of them. Yeah.
Nice. Do you have some jump scares in there?
A couple.
Well, actually, I do remember. So when I did this before, and I directed again, I did in Chemain's, but a big professional theatre, and they had all the other people and helped me do this and helped me do that. But one of the best performances was a school matinee. It was outstanding because they screamed at everything, and they loved it. So.
Nice.
But it appeals. It appeals to people.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a brain surgeon. And if you've had a hard day's work or at the end of the week, you just want to come and be entertained, it's perfect.
This is it. Nice. Well, Aiden, I'm going to give you the last word here. You are going to look to camera and you are going to tell people why they should, why they should come and see this show. So you're going to do your best pitch, right? You're going to go.
Best pitch? Oh, gosh.
Okay. And Bernard, you could just go, I agree.
Do you want to come see something terrifying, something that will shock and awe, something will inspire you to come back out into the theater, something that you can tell your parents about? Well, come see our show.
Actually, I think I'll buy a ticket and come and see it too.
Well, thank you guys so much. I can't wait to see it. And you're both gems, positive gems. So thank you so much for taking the time out of your rehearsal schedule.
Bless you, David.
Thank you so much, David.